Yo guys, my name is Zopreme, and in today's video I'll be talking about Barry going to the Speedforce to stop Savitar. So guys, the synopsis for episode 16 of season 3 of Flash says Barry goes to the Speedforce to look for answers. Now, I think Barry is probably going to get his answers from the Speedforce, and the whole episode is going to be based around him just going to the Speedforce, and he'll probably have to do another challenge again like he did in season 2 when he went to the Speedforce, and that probably the whole episode will be him being in the Speedforce. So I think the Speedforce may tell Barry Savitar's weaknesses, as he's I think the first Speedster Savitar, and the Speedforce knows all about speed and is where the source of power Savitar gets his source of power from. So technically the Speedforce will know his weaknesses and strengths and probably can give it to Barry, but he'll probably have to do a challenge, and that'll be probably episode 16. And while he's in the Speedforce, and I reckon it's probably going to be Cisco vibing Barry to the Speedforce with the help of probably Earth 2 Harrison Wells if he still is on Earth 1. And they'll help him to get to the Speedforce, and he'll connect and he'll talk to all of them. Hopefully nothing goes wrong and he can get out of Speedforce fine and there's no problems. But if he does a challenge perfectly where he has to catch a Speedster or something like that, this is how it goes kind of in the Speedforce, where he has to kind of do a challenge, and that's how the Speedforce let him back out of the Speedforce, because he had to do this challenge, and then if he completed it, which he did, he got to go out of the Speedforce and go back to Team Flash. So it'll probably be the same thing this time, and it'll probably be a lot harder challenge. The Speedforce is going to tell Barry, like, there's a certain object that can defeat Savitar, and he'll probably go to that object, and that'll probably be the whole of the next episode. And so I can probably gather that the object that Jesse is holding in future episodes, like we saw the leak where Jesse and Savitar fighting, that dagger, it looked like, was probably the object that the Speedforce tells Barry to look for, and they find it, and that's when they try and fight Savitar. So it might not be that Barry's in the Speedforce for the whole of the episode, but from what I can gather, he's probably going to be quite a lot of the episode, as a synopsis is just that, and then a bit after. So Cisco will probably help, and maybe it's a Speedster this time, and this could join up my theory with probably Wally or Jesse trying to help Barry get out of the Speedforce, and doing so, Wally gets pushed into the Speedforce. So guys, that was my theory on what could happen. Wally might get trapped in the Speedforce in this episode, but I think the Speedforce will give them his weaknesses. You can never actually know, so it could actually be that Barry comes out of the Speedforce with a new suit, as the Speedforce something may happen and he actually gets his new suit. So I think this experience with the Speedforce again may change a few things, and I'm kind of predicting that some big things after this episode are going to happen, as all the actions are going to start happening, and maybe something big happens. I predict right now that something big's going to happen. Wally may get into a bit of trouble, maybe get stuck in the Speedforce. Barry might get his new suit in the Speedforce, or something else major might that happen. So guys, I did hope you liked this video. My name's Zopreme. You guys have been the best. As always, peace out.